Welcome back to Suladan Plays the Nameless City. Last time I learned words! This time I'm in a deep dark hole in the ground and I don't trust the statue that's outside watching me. Also, I may or may not be going insane. Also, what happens if I dispel cast? Nothing. Nothing happens. Naturally, they counteract one another. Stop blinking at me! Stop looking at me from the darkness! You weird eyeball thing. Hi, other weird eyeball thing. You're not the weird eyeball thing I'm looking for. Neither are you. Neither are any of y'all. Sediment that clings to this wall bears a resemblance to the remains of an ancient mural. Though I can't grasp any recognizable form in the art, I am left to ponder the possibility of whether in the deepest corners of this building, anything has survived the relentless passage of time. Oh, look, another one. Oh. That's the one he's talking about. Oh. From up there, it just looked like sand on the wall, but yeah, that's a mural. Massive door of brass resting in the wall of this gloomy passage. In the darkness, as I open the door, I find myself chanting over and over again a phrase from one of Lord Dunsany's tales. What phrase? Oh, there it is. The unreverberate blackness of the abyss.
The darkness that occupies this tunnel feels unnatural. The feeble lightness of my torch is at least a full comfort in this abyss.
I mean, look at it. The torch flame is smaller now. When you light it, it goes to full size and shrinks. Fascinating. The darkness is pushing back at me. Maybe we should leave. You know, there's the whole idea of cut your losses and go. You even got fancy magic words that probably do nothing outside of here that you could just, you know, leave. Sanity intact. Not mess with the giant crystal. Let's lick it. Material of this artifact fluctuates and glows dimly. Its surface radiates a heat that is unusually soothing. Lick it. Lick it. Don't lick random rocks. Has never stopped us before. I should uncrouch. I guess I can't uncrouch. Okay. Tall ceiling, but can't uncrouch. And y'all aren't rotating.
An icy wind aroused from these tunnels. Did the torch's light dim? Or was it a mere trick of my imagination?
I mean, it's back to full brightness now. Maybe stop crawling deeper into the abyss. Why is that one not right looking? This artifact bears a resemblance to the one I encountered earlier, yet this time its surface cold and lifeless. Passage of the centuries may have rendered this relic inert. Sure, that's what did it. I'm sure that's what did it. I'd love to be able to uncrouch. Oh no, I see a purple glow. It's a familiar purple glow. And familiars. Singing. Don't think I don't notice that we're basically looping. Oh look, this one's doing its thing again. It is conceivable the inhabitants of this city fabricated these artifacts to illuminate the depths. Astoundingly, a handful of them continue to cast their light after the centuries. Surprisingly, a well-preserved fresco adorns this wall, defying the ravages of time. The creatures depicted in this painting are grotesque. An amalgam of a frog, a reptile, a satyr, and a human. If you say so. I see a frogish over there and kind of a satyry thing there, but I don't know. Ugh, The beings pictured in the frescoes are abhorrent, causing me to question if the people of the city were human at all. Yet the reason impels me to accept the theory of these creatures being an allegorical representation of the inhabitants of the city. Several of the eldritch creatures despised in this fresco are crawling. Could it be these cramped tunnels were intentionally constructed to evoke the nightmarish fantasy that they once roamed the very depths of this city? Oh yeah, this crystal doesn't have anything to say. All the other ones dead. Boy, it'd be nice to not be crawling around. Well, that one's out again. I don't like that I'm in such a deep hole. Well, that ain't a good sound. Methinks that's not a good sound. Don't think I did. Oh, that's... Okay, I saw something moving over there and I was... What's going on? It's a save point, obviously. There went the torch. Oh yeah, I have no torch now.
The torch has succumbed to the void. I must urgently seek a new source of light, as this abyss is hungry for the last remnants of my sanity.
Yeah, I can tell. I'm watching it wither away as we speak. Ah! Healing crystal. Fancy. Also, giant eyeball! Giant eyeball! Should be concerning, but no, we're just gonna keep going. Sunk cost fallacy. Oh, that ain't... No! Game, no! No! Don't, why would you do this to me? Game, no! Oh good, I survived. Sanity was still draining while I was in the menu, trying to pick things. Also, giant eyeball is concerning to me. Crystal. There we go. I don't trust it. Wow, how deep is this hole? Oh, why? Why? You so far away. I should be glad the tunnel has changed, but... so far. Okay, we're good. I don't like what I'm seeing. They're not rotating. The creatures depicted in the frescoes bear a resemblance to the mummies in the wooden cases. Could it be the inhabitants of the city transformed the bodies of their deceased into grotesque reflections of the creatures represented in their paintings? Sure, just keep telling yourself that. These corridors were used as a crypt, yet no mural depicts representations of death or funeral customs. Why the reticence of the inhabitants of the city to immortalize death in their frescoes while they preserve their deceased within wooden cases?
My mind was inundated by thousands of memories, each of them a searing spike piercing my brain. Could these visions be the memories of the inhabitants of the city? The line between reality and these eldritch visions blurs my cognition to an indistinct haze.
So are we saying they had glass? Cthulhu. That would have been so funny if it just rose from the dead, just like, oh no. Alright. Interesting. Not going to question any of that. Just going to get out of here now. This was a terrible idea. My sanity is low. I spammed stuff and then ran headfirst into a tunnel where I needed every bit of sanity I had. Do you see the problem with the path that we just took? If not, I don't know what to say for you. I'm sorry. We're going to have to try that again. How far back did you just throw me? Oh my goodness. Game. Okay, I've still got that. I can't... This room looks different than it did before, or I just completely misunderstood the shape of the room. Which is possible, given the nature of everything going on here. We're just gonna make a run for it, despite the fact I can't run because I'm crouched. But we're gonna make a run for it regardless! This is not going well. Oh, this is not going well. Wait. Aha! So yeah, I should have noticed those symbols on the ground. That's why the room looked different. I think I deactivated some of the crystals with my random chicanery. Because that one should have been lit up. But that's where I was standing when I did the thing. Ah, yes. So I would have been fine if I had realized that. Interesting. Cool. Neat that I got stuff I can interact with. Now if I could just stand up, you give me a sprint ability and then you take it from me. Excuse you. Maybe we should stop going deeper into the catacombs of, you know, chaos. Maybe start putting up some barriers of our own. Get a really big hammer. Finally, we get to stand up again. Glow, I say. The absence of any representation of death in their murals continues to perplex me. It is plausible that the inhabitants of this city harbored a belief in some semblance of immortality, a delusion that the bodies within the coffins would somehow endure. Doesn't do you a whole lot of good if your body's all that endures. But alas, we shall continue on our journey. I should probably have let more sanity recover before moving forward. Spooky little statues when you're not expecting them. My torch is still completely not helpful. Great. Do this to me, game. Making me cast multiple things while simultaneously draining my sanity. Oh, hi. I didn't know that's what that was. I was just like, ooh, thing on wall. I like the fact that I don't recognize them until they pop up and glow and do their thing. It's thematic. But I need you to stop doing what you're doing. I don't like the giant grabby claws. Fresco depicting a desert landscape bearing resemblance to the desert surrounding this city. Yet this mural has a remarkable difference. A body of water near the bottom. Eons ago, could it be the sea once stretched nearer to these lands? Buildings depicted at the left of this fresco bear a striking resemblance to the Nameless city. The presence of a body of water is a haunting revelation that suggests this was constructed during primordial times, and its ruins survived the bygone sea? That should concern me. Oh, that should really concern me. A depiction of some grotesque sea creatures, their very form conveying chaos. Could they have dwelled in the antediluvian sea around this city? The presence of some strange symbols carved on their skin, akin to the glyphs I have been collecting during my expedition, suggests these beasts and sigils have a mysterious connection. What you're suggesting... Nope. I thought maybe the ones I used would glow. They do not. The fresco depicts the city more akin as it is nowadays. The sea retreated. The foreboding night sky hints at the city's descent into decay and obscurity as its once lost prolific connection to the sea and creatures that dwelled in it. The room depicted in this fresco bears similarities to a chamber I've previously encountered. Profane altar on the left and the mysterious idol on the right. Oh yeah. Yet the altar is now adorned with a grotesque form that resembles a dismembered human corpse. How could it be the inhabitants of the city were depicted as gruesome creatures in other frescoes, yet they were represented as exactly human in this painting? Is my assumptions even remotely accurate? I am confused. I'm concerned that statue is right behind me, by the way. Don't think I don't know you're watching me! You giant goobus. Circular structure made of stone surrounded by water with an altar at the center. This painting strongly implies the profane rituals practiced by the inhabitants of the city were offerings dedicated to a sea deity. The enigmatic half-open gigantic door unveils a formless cloud of otherworldly colors, unnatural for the mortal realm and perhaps the very abode of the aforementioned deity. He's behind me, watching me again, isn't he? My relentless tide of thoughts inexorably returns to the disconcerting truth that apart from the poor and barely recognizable person sacrificed in that mural, I stand as the only human form amidst the sea of otherworldly relics and frescoes. Same thing for both. That would have been terrifying. I turned around and just that eyeball staring.
My initial presumption that the depicted creatures were representations of humans was just a shield against the profound horrors that dwell within the city's depths. A truth so unspeakable that I dare not express it with the voice of my conscious mind.
And that is? You can tell me. You won't tell me. Also, we found the water at the bottom of the well. I don't want to... No. No, I'm going to go in it and it's going to... I'm standing up for once. Oh, well, that's less spooky than I thought, at least. I thought there was just going to be nothing. Fine. Go through here. I don't like it. Oh. No, wait. Yeah, I still don't like it. Why would you lie on the altar, you idiot? Why would you do that? Can I just leave? Is that an option here? I've already clicked the button. I can no longer move the camera. What otherworldly dimension have I crossed into?
Recollections of my visit to the Nameless city are an amalgam of an eldritch nightmare and an uncanny reality. Amidst that hazy fog are my memories. A vivid sensation endures. Inexorable dread of being pulled into an otherworldly abyss of light. eerie forms of the crawling reptiles of the Nameless city against the luminous ether of the abyss. And the indelible mark that is etched in my worst nightmares at night is the vision of the grotesque and gargantuan beast that reigned over the city beyond the void of night.
I am concerned and confused for you, sir. I'm assuming that since he's speaking, like, past it, does that mean he survived, came out on the other end alive, and this is him trying to explain it to somebody or write it down? I mean, that is generally the kind of angle that the Lovecraftian stories were written from, I think. Surprisingly, while I like them, I haven't read a whole bunch of it. It's just, I know it's generally the idea that it's written kind of, it's almost like I jokingly say it's the early version of what became found footage horror nowadays. Of, you have these stories written as if they were written by the person that's actually experiencing them. House of Leaves is another good one. But it kind of reminds me of that, the found footage horror concept, where it's like, it's done from the angle as if it was real. As if it was written by somebody that was there, as opposed to other stories where it's like you're looking into a right. I don't know. It's weird to phrase, but fascinating. Love it. Interesting. I don't know. I'd like to have seen more stuff to interact with, more runes and all, but very nice bite-sized experience. Interesting. Spooky in just the right places. I like it. I don't have a lot of criticism there. Beautiful aesthetically. Love the sound design. It did not push into like cheap jump scares or anything weird. It just let itself be ambiently spooky and tense by its own nature, and it did great at that. So really, really interesting game. Check their website to get updates about upcoming games. And like I said before, this game is on itch.io. There's a link in the description. Fascinating game. It is $6 as of the time of this writing. Very nice. Very fascinating. I look forward to seeing more from you, Paranites. Parad. Is it Parad Night or I keep saying Paranite, but Parad Night. I don't know. I'm probably mispronouncing that terribly, but fun game! Gonna hit quit. So, this has been Suladan Plays The Nameless City. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next game.